we doing in this video again?
We are
heads
doing
everything to get
disassembly.
Yep. Welcome back to another video of A-Room Racing. In today's video we are working on the GTR. So I'm here with my friend Jose. He came all the way from Ohio. He's helping me disassemble the GTR. We are going to be taking the radiator off, draining the oil of fluids, and we are going to take everything off so we can actually take off the heads and inspect the heads there to see how it looks and if we need to take even more. But we're disassembling everything that we can right now to get to the heads, and then after that we'll go from there. But in this video we're just, our goal is to go all the way till we can actually take the heads off. All right, so we are going to be raising the car up, coolant, oil, and we'll be going from there. And hopefully we don't go through a lot of problems, which pretty sure we are going to go through a lot of problems, aren't we?
Yes.
Yep, facts. As always, I'm underneath the car. I'm trying to show you stuff that I can't really show you because it's kind of tight in here. But we did find a little bit of there's like a little bit of oil on the, this right here, this is the AC, a little bit of oil there that we see. Don't know exactly where is it coming from. It has to be somewhere from the top because it's steel also. It's pretty wet in there also. So it has to be coming from somewhere on top. So we don't know where the oil is actually coming from. A little bit of wet right here. The axle, it's like a little drop there. So it has to be coming from top. The oil. Everything else looks pretty solid. Dirt here and there. Down there seems like he went mudding. I don't know if he did or not, but yeah, you can see a little bit of dirt there. And then the other thing we saw was, I don't know if I can show you, but the turbos are somewhere out here. Oh wait, did I move? Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Alright, let me see if I can't even see the camera myself. Turbo's in there. There is oil on the turbo. Nothing like that is dripping too much, but there's oil around. You know, that grime is there, so we don't know if exactly if it's the seal or anything like that, but that one turbo for sure has a little bit grime. So when we pull those out, gotta clean it up, maybe change the seals, whatever, or just upgrade the turbos. What do you think, Jose?
Upgrade.
Upgrade. He says upgrade. So we got the oil drain, coolant drain, we got the radiator out, we got the bumper off, and now we have a fan. So that fan right there, got it out, which is a clutch fan. So it's not like your normal traditional like radiator fan that is connected to the radiator. It's actually connected to actual engine, and then that's what it's called. It's called a clutch fan. So it's actually the engine that does the turning for you instead of the actual like sensors and on the radiator. So we got all this space already disconnected, and I don't know what we're gonna do next. We got already everything drained. So I guess now we are going to make sure that these bolts are we going to put this bolt back. So putting this bolt back. We have, so we're doing this little thing to kind of keep track of everything that we do. So like, you know, timing belt cover, it has a little cam sensor in there. That's something easy that we know what it is. So this is like, you know, all the bolts, make sure that everything is labeled. Bumper bolts in there, and then all the bolts that we can actually put back, like radiator bolts, the little radiator bracket bolts that are back. He's putting back the fan bolts in their back, so we don't actually lose track, so we don't have like a million bolts to go through. So it's a good way to kind of keep track of everything, and yeah, that's the way to do it. So now we're going to start taking off like everything on top of this bar, intake, start taking off the cables. The fuel is going to be fun because we haven't, there's no way for us to kind of depressurize the system, so we're going to have to disconnect, and then it's going to go, and then it's going to throw fuel all over. But, you know, a couple rags, keep everything good. So that's where we're at now. We should do the battery. Definitely should do the battery. I don't know, we still have it connected. Brand new battery, might be already dead. So, but yeah, so we're doing that. So stay tuned. We're gonna keep going. Hopefully we get this done out today. Okay, so we are making progress. There's a lot of space here now. No battery, no radiator. The intakes are out. All this stuff is there. I wasn't able to take this valve cover, timing cover off. I think I have to take off the crank pulley to get this cover off, to be able to get to this little tensioner there, to be able to take the timing belt off. One thing that we found, that you remember that turbo that is kind of crusty, yeah, it's pretty bad. Let me see, where's the flashlight? That's all oil in there. It's tons of oil into the pipe coming from the turbo, right? Is this back turbo, right? Yeah, his back turbo is pretty bad, so I'm pretty sure this is a seal that is broken. This turbo looks great. There's nothing wrong with this turbo. That turbo is lots of oil in there. So now we're trying to figure it out what we're gonna do next to take this off, and then I gotta take this off too, and then we go from there to see if we can get any further progress for today.
A few moments later.
So we left to get food, came back, ate, and now this is what we got. Freaking thunderstorm here now. It's raining buckets out here. The STI, of course, is getting massively wet. All the wind. A little bit of drizzle, and my tools got a little bit of wet from being here. So, yeah, it's thundering pretty good. Kind of waiting here for. Oh, there we go. Oh no! But yeah, we got some stuff. We still gotta work on the GTR, so which is fun. So I guess we're gonna keep working on the GTR while we have this nice little weather happening right behind us. Oh my god! Now it's time to make the fuel lines out. Fuel lines are pressurized, which means fuel is gonna fly everywhere because we have no crank, no nothing that we can crank and depressurize the system. So we have a pressurized system, unless it's already depressurized. What the fuck? I'm bending that thing right there. Oh, we're gonna change that little dust lines? Yeah, those are the shitty lines. Some shitty lines on the other side. But yeah, so let's do this little fuel lines here, and hopefully it's already depressurized. It's been sitting for so long with no, the fuel pump has actually kicked in. So that's something. So pretty sure it is pressurized. So let's see. Oh no, I have to break your seal.
Oh, this is terrible location for everything. I think there's a reason why Nissan says pull the motor.
Yep.
It's starting to realize this is starting to become a pain in my lingo.
This thing is not coming. I'm gonna try the other one. I'm gonna plug the other one too.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Ah, damn, what the heck? Are you kidding me?
Was it?
Oh.
I didn't do it. Was it? Wait, where's the
What are you looking for?
pliers that I had?
This one's?
Yeah.
So you can barely turn it.
This goes all the way.
You want to do it that way though? Can do fuel rail.
Yeah, it'd probably be better to
I
just
can
take
probably,
your
I can
fuel
probably
rail
do
right
fuel
off.
rail and then slowly.
Just gotta take the clips off the injectors. Let's
No,
see.
doesn't it? No, there's no clips here.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it just pulls out.
So there's only what, 2, 3 bolts? Yeah.
I don't know. 2 bolts? 2 bolts.
3, 1. Oh yeah, 2.
2 bolts. Yep.
Still able to? I was trying to make sure.
Watch out! I might elbow you in the face.
Check all that stuff in the back though.
Ooh. Ready? Ready to do this?
Oh. That's not bad. Oh shit.
Oh,
my
shit! There's so much
God.
fucking fuel!
Oh shit. Your whole shit's gonna smell like gasoline.
Oh, this one came out. Wait, let me see this fucking... This injector? Oh yeah, okay. There you go. Delicious smell of fuel. Was that the O-ring? Yeah. So there's a huge problem with this biatch. So I did say in one of my previous videos that the best way to do this, pull the engine out, and pretty much everywhere that we have read said the easier way is to pull the engine out, and we are so stubborn that we thought that we could do this easy, pull the heads out. It is possible to pull the heads out, which has been done, but it is it's a bitch to do. So I can't really. So I have the manifold right here. Oh, bolt. I mean wrench. So I have the manifold right here, and I'm able to get the manifold bolts on the top. I was able to get one on the bottom, but there are still 5 underneath that I can't really get to from underneath. So like the wrench, this little wrench doesn't really fit. Like underneath, I can't get it in a correct angle, and then even a socket doesn't really fit because the way that it sits here. I don't know if you can see this little part right here. Let's see. So I even tried a little one of these swivel things. So even here, the socket, it's not going to be in a good angle, and I can't get it on a good angle on the bottom. And in reality, I can only see 3 bolts underneath, and I know there's 2 missing. I have no idea where they are at. So it is easier to pull the motor out, and he's still battling over there with the 2 turbos and the exhaust manifold, which is going to be exactly the same, but I believe with taking the 2 turbos out, it'll be easier to take those bottom bolts out because you have all that access there. Here, there's absolutely no access. There's a bunch of crap underneath, which I don't know what it is underneath. Some hoses, some stuff, and yeah, there's no way unless we take those off. But there's really no good access. It's really tight, and I think the best route is to actually pull the engine out. Kind of work on the stuff that we actually have to do to kind of separate the engine with the transmission. And everything is pretty tight on the back too. Huge freaking starter motor is huge. That's all the way in the back there. And I don't know if it's going to be easy, because I also heard it's easier to pull the motor with the transmission. out, but I don't know. So, and I think that the axles are actually connected to the motor, not the transmission, right?
Yeah,
like the little
to the oil.
Yeah, to the yeah. So the axles are actually connected to the motor, not to the transmission. I like some other cars, like the WRX is actually, you know, it can pull the motor out real quickly without detaching axles. So front axles are actually attached to the motor, so that's something else that we have to do. And yeah, I mean, I think we did a good progress. We didn't even take the covers off from the valves, which we could have done, but for what, you know? I don't know if we can see damage from the top.
Probably just a shoved valve or compressed spring, probably.
Yeah, maybe. And we also gotta do, still gotta do the crank pulley, which I don't have the socket for, which I gotta go to the store and get a 30mm socket for that. That's where we're at now. I'm tired. We are dirty, sweaty, and it stopped raining at least. So that's a good thing. And yeah. So what we were just talking about here is that, you know, there's a lot of hoses and like extra hoses there that just runs to nowhere pretty much. Talking about simplifying the engine, you know, clean it up really good and kind of like take the excess out. There's like excess stuff there, and
Just simplify it, right? So
simplify it pretty easy.
this entire motor is designed with a tight tolerance to fit this tight space. So everything is a hard line, flared fittings, bolts are like millimeters apart. So everything just needs to be simplified. So when you watch guys that have RB motors that are fully built and they're taking that stuff apart in like an hour, it's because they got the one-piece billet intake manifold, the headers without heat shields or hard lines running across them. The turbos are a little higher. Everything's just a little easier. This is just
Cramped.
This is just like fucking, yeah, it's a lot of engine.
So I know I can definitely take a STI engine or a WRX engine in probably an hour and a half.
Yeah.
This, I'm pretty sure, you know, after this of doing it, understanding the RB motor, you know, next time will be easier because we already know what we were doing. But right now we actually have no clue what we were doing. We're just taking stuff out, putting in bins and little bags to make sure we don't lose anything, lose no bolts, yeah, so maybe hopefully for next time. But yep, idea is to get it out of the car and actually do everything outside of the car, which will simplify things for us because it's easier for us to actually access parts like the manifolds and all that stuff. So this is where I'm gonna end the video. We are exhausted and we can't really do this today. The goal was to take the heads off, but it's impossible right now. So part one of the engine overhaul, I'm guessing, and just stay tuned for the next video. And if you guys are interested in following this little build, just make sure that you guys subscribe and hit that bell notification for when the videos come out. And there's going to be a ton of videos because this is going to be the project for now. The STI has just a little couple things and I still have the WRX, so just stay tuned for those things. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.